Committee reports. Legislative update, Mrs. Shorter.
I have a brief one. Okay. Just want to bring everybody up to speed as to where we are in regards to Ed Choice. And the proposals are basically what's out there right now. So there's a conference committee going on, and they're actually hearing testimony. I believe it's going on tonight. It's going to go on tomorrow night. And basically, this testimony is for those that are proponents and opponents of Ed Choice vouchers. So I want to thank our very own Superintendent Billy Smith for testifying yesterday. You did a great job. I really wish they'd let you finish.
Me too.
You were just getting to
I
the...
know.
Yes,
Well, if you watched,
yes.
I really wanted to share my closing statement.
Would you like to do it tonight?
Do
Yeah.
it tonight, do it tonight. I just want to give you a little information about where things are. So for Ed Choice, there's a House Bill 9, which is a provision that is not as popular with public schools. And then there's Senate Bill 89, and they've tacked on measures within those two bodies that have, bodies of law. And they're in a conference committee trying to basically hammer it out. So either way, we're going to have vouchers. The question is via HB 9, which is sort of a state-funded, HB 9, which is not a state-funded. It's kind of a similar thing that we've already got. So some of the details specifically for House Bill 9, which is a measure that some of the more pro-Ed Choice voucher senators seem to like. This would basically maintain traditional performance-based Ed Choice measures for 2020, 2021, and beyond. So when I say performance-based Ed Choice measures, those are basically Ed Choice vouchers that are tied or linked to the state report card metrics. So if you're on the naughty list, the so-called underperforming school list, then the performance-based Ed Choice vouchers come into play. The second provision is the number of eligible schools for the coming school year would still be around 425 on the Ed Choice voucher list, the expansion list. And the increase in the income eligibility threshold would be at 300% of poverty. So students who are eligible for both programs, unfortunately, would continue to default to the Ed Choice, and those deductions would come from the local school districts. Those would continue to grow. So within House Bill 9, this is not a provision that would help public schools as it stands. Senate Bill 89, as that stands, it's a more popular type of system that I think would help public schools a little bit more. And so some of the provisions there pertain to this. It phases out district-paid building performance-based vouchers with new vouchers that are paid by the state. Either way, we're still getting vouchers. The question is, in what form? Is it coming directly from the school's state coffers, or is it coming as a direct pay from the state without taking money from the school districts that those private schools are in, or private school kids that are in? The second provision of Senate Bill 89, it increases the income-based voucher eligibility from 200% to 250% of the federal poverty level and requires the state, instead of districts, to pay the voucher if a student is both income eligible and building eligible. And that would begin in 2021 and 2022. So if the student qualifies for both, if they're at that poverty threshold, but there's a school that's deemed as underperforming, instead of that money coming from the school district's coffers, it would be a direct pay from the state. Also, the plan dissolves the 3 academic distress commissions. So we continue to support Senate Bill 89 because it is the only plan that takes the punitive measures out of Ed Choice vouchers for most districts. If a building has an overall C, then it would not be eligible for performance-based vouchers. There's a huge problem with equity surrounding tools that establish school ratings. Most will all agree that the report card by which public schools are judged is a flawed measuring tool. Districts receive grades based on a myriad of factors that are based on complicated regression analysis and other statistical models that combine to create a toxic brew. There is no same such standard for private counterparts. We are allowed to see the percentage of proficient state tests for students at private schools who receive vouchers. They are all based on the AIR test, but House Bill 166 contained a provision that basically will now allow private schools the option of choosing what type of test they will administer to the students who actually receive vouchers. So they get an option. They can choose what type of assessment they want to be graded on, or graded with. Now this to me just strips of inequity, since public schools have no say in what tools basically are used for assessment as it pertains to state scores and mandates. Public and private students both deserve fairness and accountability. So we continue to urge citizens to tell state legislators to support Senate Bill 89. House Bill 9 is not the way to go. That's it.
Any questions for Mrs. Shorter? I just want to thank you for your continued efforts towards this, towards a resolution to this. I think it's kind of ironic that the House is in favor of the Senate bill and the Senate is in favor of the House bill.
I know, it's weird.
That's so bizarre, but that's the world we live in, right?
That's the
So,
world we live in.
Thank you very
Crazy
much
Ohio.
for the update and continue I see all your social media efforts out there
I
and
try.
thank you so much for trying to educate the public on what's going on. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Of course, yeah, thank you for Mr. Smith for that incredible testimony at the State House.
And
I think their clock was fast. I think
I
cut
think
you-
they got confused and gave me 3 minutes instead of 5.
Okay.
Just saying.
I agree with that.
The Butler Tech update, just that I have new student advocate updates for you, but I'll get them electronically to you. I was not given an electronic version yet. I was waiting for that. So I'll send it out to you, and then we'll have an update on that next time. Planning Commission.
Nothing at this time.
Okay.